Well, it's a very warm welcome back to second half independent off-tube studio commentary from the game at Atlanta, where Czechia lead against South Africa by a goal to nil. Czechia's getting a very early lead through Michal Sadilek, but that's not the whole story of the first half. South Africa were improving in the last 15, maybe even 20 minutes of the first half. Arguably, Hugo Bruce's side were the better team, albeit they still struggled to create any kind of real threat in the final third. So we'll have to wait and see how things play out in the second half. There was one change for South Africa. Jaden Adams has gone off, and Willefile Mufakeng has come on to replace him. Perhaps it's no surprise because Adams did have a bit of a quiet half in the middle of the park. But it's myself, Paul Szczerbakowicz, and Jonny Holmes taking through the action. Jonny, we were getting some improvement from South Africa. It's just a question of whether they can improve enough to really make a game of it now.
Yeah, I'm casting my mind back to that first half, and actually no real clear-cut chances being created by South Africa are springing to mind. The only one that I can think of is right at the end of the half when Kovar spilt it towards Maseko, who got a shot away that was blocked. And other than that, there wasn't really too much in it. So I think they need to be more incisive, they need to create something, and they need to stop going short with their corners.
That's exactly it. I mean, yeah, I would certainly second that last opinion, especially because that was very frustrating. They had to work so hard to get any kind of attacking territory, any kind of attacking possession at all. And on the 3 occasions that they had corner kicks, every single one of them was really wasted. But now a ball played through down the left-hand side. It gets through to Sadilek into the penalty area. Great chances for Czechia. Derrida with the strike, he takes too long. The ball was just behind him, and that just slows the move down. And then Czechia win the ball back in midfield. The referee, I thought initially the referee was going to give a free kick to South Africa, but she hasn't. It has just been given as a corner after the strike is then tipped over the bar by Williams.
Yeah, I wonder if that the first touch from Derrida he doesn't quite get out of his feet, and in fact it spins in behind him and he has to swivel and readjust and it's just behind him when he takes that touch, which makes the chance, takes it away from him a little bit and allows the defender, who does really well to get across, a little bit more time to do so. So I think it was that first touch that was the key thing. If he brings that into his stride, he's maybe able to get a bit more of a clearer shot away.
Absolutely, I would agree that to that first touch, it wasn't necessarily the ball to Derrida that was a bad one, it was just the way he tried to control it that made it very difficult for himself. But we have got a corner kick for Czechia now. And shoulder sags slightly because the left footer that could have sent a quick in-swinging ball in has now moved away, but it is an outswinger from Souček into the 6-yard box. A header from Patrick Schick is straight down the middle. I mean, the ball landed on his forehead effectively, but he didn't really do too much to change the direction. It was just straight down the middle. Yeah,
either side of the goalkeeper, and the Czechs are 2-0 up there. I think he should do better. It looked like a free header. It looked like he wasn't being tracked, and he's not that far out either. And yeah, as I say, either side of the goalkeeper, but no, he's headed it straight at Williams.
Straight out. Well, just to remind you of the two sides very quickly. Kovar is in goal for Czechia, a back four of Hranac, Holeš and Krejci. Sufal and Sojka are the two wide men, with Sadilek, Derrida and Serve as the midfield three. Hlužek and Schick are the two up front for South Africa. It is Williams in goal. Then it's a back four of Mudau, Okon, Mbakazi and Madiba. Mokoena, Mabatha and now Mufakeng are the three in midfield, with Maseko, Apollis and Reyners as the attacking three. And of course, just a reminder that every single one of the World Cup games will be available on our service. And so I do invite you to join us at whatever time you can. Of course, a lot of the games being at unsociable hours. The ball now played over towards the right-hand side. Kept alive here now by Mokoena. Over towards the penalty area. Now Mudau with the ball, and it takes a slight deflection before the ball eventually goes up for a corner kick.
Yeah, I think South Africa look at their most vulnerable men when Madua is going backwards, but when he's going forwards, that's probably when they're at their most dangerous, because when he's making that overlapping run on the right-hand side, they're stretching the Czechs at the back, and I think that when he gets forward, and they need to get him forward more, because he looks like a danger.
Does look like a danger. We're going to get this corner kick from South Africa. Guess what? It's a short ball from South Africa, but then it's played back. Now it's whipped in with a bit of pace from Apollis, but ball eventually cleared back into midfield. It will be kept alive here by Mbakazi. Ball into the penalty area is blocked, and now a chance here for Czechia to go on the counter as Schick plays the ball over towards the right-hand side. Played through the middle now towards Hlužek, who was trying to keep the counter going, but he was well marshalled in the end there by Mokoena. So South Africa are now back in possession. Ball played back towards the goalkeeper now. Pressing here at the edge of the area. Good ball from Mbakazi up towards the halfway line. Apollis is falling, but he's still able to get that ball in. Mufakeng now playing it forward towards Maseko. But just too many Czech bodies in the way. But again, that's really good work from South Africa to win it back. And now here they go down the right-hand side. The ball in towards Mudau is under hit, and he's probably given a foul there as well. I mean, Sadilek does get his body in the way. I think if that had ended up with the South African player, the referee would have stopped play. But now I think our referee, Tori Penso, she's going to stop play anyway because it looks like the South African man is down.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was just good defending, a 50-50 clash. I don't think the free kick needs to be given. We'll see a replay of it. Madao makes that run, and the ball through to him by Mufakeng it's a searching one, but I think maybe it's slightly under hit, and it allows the defender to get back and win the ball, and there's nothing wrong with that.
No, nothing wrong with that at all. And as I say, he just needs a moment now to pick himself up. Hopefully, it's nothing too serious. And the referee just looking across. We'll see it from this angle again.
Yeah, it's a good challenge.
It is a good challenge. Yeah, I think he does get to the ball first. I can't really see why there would be any kind of break in play unless it's just a case of checking to make sure there's no injury. But we are back underway now. Ball played short. Here is Ladislav Krejci down towards. Oh, that's a heavy touch there from Soyka, giving it away. There's an urgency about South Africa, which I do like at the start of this second half. An early ball into the penalty area there from Mabatha is cleared back into midfield, and it's not the best control there from Maseko. And all of a sudden it opens up here now for Czechia, down towards Sheik here on the left-hand side. He's got 4 players joining him in the attack, but he just rolls the ball back towards Soyka. And then Soyka plays a really good ball, and that's a crucial interception there. I think it was Mukwena inside the penalty area getting a challenge, and then Apollis back at the edge of his own box gets a challenge as well. He wants the luck of getting a throw on. He's not going to get it, but you can tell there's a hustle about South Africa, which I like in this second half. Yeah,
started really well, but the danger is, and we saw it there, that they commit men forward and they allow the Czechs to go down the other end. And what a delicious ball in that was from Soyka, searching towards the back stick, and had to do really, really well. The South African defence to steer it away. Throw-in comes in long, and it's going to be nodded behind. It looks like a corner to the Czechs.
Looks like it is going to be another corner. Sheik's now going to stay in the penalty area, having been the nuisance that was forcing South Africa to nod it out in the first place. And wait and see, of course, how Czechia wants to approach this corner kick. They've had pretty much all their corners from the right, and they've used the outswinger from Vladimir Soufal. They're doing that again, puts a bit more height onto this one, headed towards goal, and it's over the bar. So not a bad chance there. We know that Krejci is dangerous from set pieces, but he just gets underneath that one a little bit.
Yeah, he does. It was always rising over the bar. I think he looked like he was in a bit of a crowded area there, as he does steal away from his man, but he's got 2 players on him. So I think they did quite well to just put him off a little bit and make sure that he was falling slightly as he went up for that header, which meant he couldn't get the right direction on it, and he didn't have a free header, so to speak. So I wouldn't expect him to score, but still a half-decent chance.
Decent chance, and here come South Africa now down the left-hand side. Hugo Bruce's players will certainly feel as though they've got a little bit more about them now into this second half, but it's all about actually maintaining it. Czechia are still playing a very high offside line. They're making it very hard here for South Africa to try and play a ball at her. It won't stop Mukwena trying exactly that, though. A ball towards the edge of the area, and then 2 Czechia players get in each other's way, Soyka and Krejci. They just about get away with it. About fair play to them, because it looked for a second like they were almost destined to give the ball away at the edge of their own box. But Soyka does eventually put his foot through it. But South Africa now back in possession here in midfield with Mabatha in towards Apollis. He's got an overlap there from Madiba. He prefers to cut into the middle and then spots an even better chance here down the right-hand side for Madao. Madao back into the middle now for Mukwena. Mukwena exchanging passes there with Maseko. And then Maseko, once again, it's these hopeful, speculative efforts after such a promising build-up. Maseko there off balance, tries to ping it with the left foot, and he sends it a long way over.
A long way over, and that intricate build-up, I do like to see it from South Africa, and it's probably their best little build-up spell of the match so far, quite possibly. But it once again ends with a shot from distance. And there was a couple of opportunities to put a cross in. Maybe at some point they've got to start thinking about doing that. Maybe they're worried about the Czech height advantage, which I would say is the case. But still, it's a poor effort in the end, and always rising.
Yeah, always rising. We're going to see a double change here now from Czechia in midfield. So it's going to be Serve going off, central midfielder, and Alexander Soyka, the left back, or the left winger, as he's been playing pretty much. So Soyka, I beg your pardon, it's Derrida, I should say. Derrida is the one who is going off. Lucas Serve remains on the field. My apologies. So Lucas Serve remains. It's Vladimir Derrida and Alexander Soyka that are going off. We'll just confirm that it's Zeleny who's come on for Soyka and Sultz who's come on for Derrida.
Yeah, a couple of changes there for the Czechs. Maybe they've started to spot the fact that the South Africans are starting to get back into this one, as I think the offside flag... No, the flag has stayed down. Polis looked like he was in an offside position there, but they're still on the ball, South Africa.
Yeah, for the time being, there may be a delayed offside, but considering it's been a good few passes since the suspected offside, I think it's probably going to be okay, as the ball now with Mudau on the right-hand side, plays it back into the middle, into the penalty area. Now here is Polis, into Modiba. Modiba looking for options, just gets that ball in towards Polis again, and it's then rolled back towards Modiba, lifting that one into the box. But that's, again, it's just a hopeful ball. It's not really to anyone in particular, and that's been the problem for South Africa, that for all the promising build-up and endeavour, that the long passing and, of course, the shooting has just really let them down so far this evening.
Yeah, if they are going to start putting balls into the box, they need Reyners to be making those runs in behind, and they need something, a threat, either in the air or in the box, and it doesn't seem like they've got that. They've got some nice build-up play, and they can get themselves onto the edge of the box, and sometimes into the box, but there's no one there with that finishing touch, that end product, to put the killer pass through, or indeed find the finish.
That's going to be the problem for South Africa if they can't maintain this. Well, as I say, maintaining this energy level is one thing, but they've got to try and be able to do something in that final third. Whether or not, I mean, as I say, for all the praise we've had for Polis, we've liked what Mokoena's doing, a real sort of box-to-box midfielder. We've hardly seen Reyners, though, but here comes Czechia now. Ball played in towards Sheik, just a bit of a heavy touch. He's dispossessed. Now a chance for South Africa to go forward. The ball is clipped forward here. Mokoena will chase it, but Krejci should get there first, and Krejci... using all of his experience there, just falling on the ball once he felt the slightest touch from the South African man. He actually got quite lucky there, because he handballed it as he fell, so if the referee and linesman hadn't have gone with him, he would have given away a free kick there.
Yeah, he would have done, but got away with it. Good defending in the end by Krejci. He seems alert, and I think he's... whenever the South Africans are looking to come forward, he seems to be the one that's reading danger quite well, but they look to come forward again.
They do. It's held up here in midfield and played over towards the left-hand side. Polis does really well just to keep it in play, rolling it back towards Modiba. Czechs are back in numbers, though. No easy options here for South Africa to try and go forward. It's now with Mbatha. Out to Mudau. Being closed down, playing it back into the middle now for Mokoena. Square to Mudau again. Now looking at options here. Modiba on the left-hand side, but Czechia keeping that midfield flooded. No easy options here for South Africa. Mokoena now back towards Ocon. And the referee's going to stop play here, because there is a Czech player down in the middle of the park. And it's Lucas Serve, the central midfielder. I mean, it was so far off the ball that we didn't even see what happened to him, but hopefully we'll see a replay. He's down holding his... It looks like it's his right thigh that's causing him problems. Yeah, he looks to be in some real discomfort, as you say. Not sure what's happened to him. I'm sure we'll get a replay of that. But yeah, seems to be in some real discomfort, stretching his leg out now. Looks like he's going to sit up. We might see it on our screens. And it's off the ball, isn't it? Yeah, nowhere near the ball. I didn't really see... There didn't seem to be much contact. He's up on his feet now. I mean, there's a little arm out there from Mufakeng, as if maybe there was some sort of contact there, but I don't think there was any intent, and it may well be that it's almost like the sort of the professional footballer's equivalent of a dead leg there, I suppose. I think he might have just got caught on the thigh, and it just seemed to derail him a little bit. Hugo Bruce looking a little bit confused by all of this.
Looks like he wants a yellow card for simulation. I'm not sure that's going to happen.
No, I don't think so. Although, let's say, the referee took it upon himself to stop play there. There was no head injury. There wasn't really an obligation to stop there. And I think in those situations, rather than a physio, sometimes just play on is the best medicine. But here come Czechia now. Ball towards the edge of the area. On the left-hand side is now the substitute. Zeleny. He threads the ball in towards Schultz. The other substitute tees it up. Oh, it's a strike coming in from Sadilek, which is deflected away. And here is Zeleny again. He wants to win his side a corner kick. I don't think he's going to get it, though. The ball has deflected off him last. And it is out for a goal kick. But the two substitutes hooking up very nicely there.
Yeah, they combined really nicely. And I think that's probably the best bit of play we've seen from the Czechs in this second half, quite possibly, because some nice little interchange of passing. And it's the two, as you say, the two substitutes combining a little bit of fresh legs, perhaps, fresh mindset, fresh perspective on the game. And they very nearly carved a way through there.
Good opportunity, but the ball now played back towards the goalkeeper, Williams. No urgency at the moment here from South Africa in this particular move, just slowly but surely playing out from the back. And Williams now holding on to it. No rush here from the keeper. Now he's just got to be a little bit hurried because Schultz is closing him down, and this is how they conceded one of their goals against Mexico, South Africa. They've got to be careful just not to play around with it too much at the edge of their own penalty area. Long clearance now was aimed at Apollos. That one is headed away. Still a bit of work here for Czechia to do. They to give the ball away at midfield in the end, and it's Mufakeng playing it square over towards Mukwena. He leaves it, and it's another effort from 35 yards from Aubrey Madiba. As I say, you're probably a bit before your time, but I remember Roberto Carlos scoring probably one of the most amazing free kicks ever. And then he did probably take about 500 shots on in his career that he shouldn't have because of that one free kick. And it seems like the South African players have got a similar problem.
Yeah, maybe they've been watching replays of Sifi Tshabalala back in 2010 when he scored the absolute thunderbolt in their opening game of the competition. But yeah, so far none of them have been quite up to that standard, have they?
Well, no, 10 efforts from Czechia, 3 of them on target, and obviously one of them has found the net. 8 efforts from South Africa, and perhaps it is no surprise that not one of them has been on target. And actually only one of them was even close to being on target. That was an effort from Apollos, which also took a big deflection before it looped just wide. So actually there's been nothing really. The most work that Mate Kovar has had, this the Czechia goalkeeper, has made a bit of a mess of claiming what seemed like a fairly routine cross, and he was just fortunate that there were enough teammates around to block any potential rebounds. But we've just gone past the 60-minute mark. 61 minutes unofficial, independent, off-tube studio commentary from the World Cup game in Atlanta, where Czechia lead against South Africa by a goal to nil, and it is South Africa in possession inside the Czechia half over on the right-hand side. It's Mofokeng playing it back in towards Ocon. Nice turn there from Apollos, and it's a ball in towards Madao, and he's onside. Oh, he just tries to do one trick too many there, but then it's a giveaway from Krejci, and now, as it turns out, there was an offside in the midst of all of that. But again, just little glimmers here for South Africa that the passing's starting to look that little bit slicker.
Yeah, I thought Madao was offside from the he's way offside.
Way offside,
and I think he probably knew that, because the way he then approaches the move going forward is the way that a man who knew he was offside approaches it. I think, he tries to do too much, tries a little shimmy, a little step over, and just shows too much of the ball to the defender. But yeah, he was way offside, and say it so many times, when you're looking down the line, you shouldn't be caught offside like that, but he was way off.
Yeah, wasn't paying attention. To say, you'd think that international professional footballers would always be looking down the line, but it is still that human instinct of just going after the ball when they see it. It's a little bit like when players handball it when they shouldn't really be handballing it, but it's just, hey, I've got to stop the ball, so they just put an arm out. It's only afterwards that they realise what they've actually done. But South Africa now momentarily without the ball. They're pressing here though, as Czechia looks to play out from the back. It's found Zeleny on the left hand side. He plays the ball through. Was there a foul there on Sheik as he went for it? The referee says no. You can see Miroslav Kubek there, arms aloft on the touchline. He felt as though his side would due a free kick there, but Apollos now brings the ball forward for South Africa. Just playing it square towards Mabatha. Mabatha playing it forward now towards Apollos, who seems to have a bit more of a free role in this second half. He was hugging that left touchline for most of the first, but now he just seems to have a bit more of a licence to be in the middle of the park as well. Ball now played back towards the edge of the Czechia penalty area. Krejci with a bit of a quick ball in towards Kovar. He needs to be quick because Reyners was closing him down. Goalkeeper does get it away, and here is Kranach now bringing the ball forward. He's under pressure though, so having to go straight back towards the edge of his own penalty area. Soufal gets the ball back and switches play over towards the left-hand side. And here is Zeleny now over the halfway line. There are 4 with him on this attack. Zeleny just checks his run and then plays it back into the middle for Schultz. Schultz now over towards Zeleny again, towards the halfway line as Ladislav Krejci. This may well be quite intentional here from Czechia. They're not forcing themselves to go forward, but it's just making sure that South Africa don't have the possession.
Yeah, I suppose they don't need to force the issue, do they, the Czechs, because they have the 1-goal lead. But, it's not like South Africa haven't shown they've got glimpses going forward, but going forward it's actually the Czechs with Schulk.
Here comes the ball over on the left-hand side. And it's now gone out for a goal kick, I think, in the end after all of that. Although certainly he looks like he's in a little bit of pain there, Madao.
Yeah, he went down, didn't he, earlier on towards... It was actually in the Czechia box that he went down previously when he had that half chance and tried to get on the end of a through ball by Mofokeng. But he's now down once again and possibly picked up another knock. Let's see if he gets to his feet. I think he's all right. He was in a bit of a tussle there with Hlozek, but seems to be getting to his feet. He's limping a little bit, but I think he might be able to walk this one off by the looks of things.
Yes, hopefully he will be able to. And although we certainly had him down as being at fault for the goal, or certainly partially to blame, he's actually been quite a big player for South Africa since then in terms of them trying to get forward. Long ball up towards the halfway line, just about kept in play there by Maseko. Back towards Mudau. And back towards the edge of the penalty. And I think the problem here for South Africa is that there is just a link man missing. I know they've got a couple of players obviously out suspended after the red cards in the first game. But it just goes to show that they can't quite use the amount of the ball that they've got to actually do something useful with it.
Yeah, no one's gluing the team together. No one's sort of raising their head above the parapet and trying to really take this game by the scruff of the neck. And there's no real option up front, it feels like. I mean, Reyners has just not really been in this game at all, and they've got no one. They've got no target man or no one running in behind. They need something like that if they're going to get back into this one, because it's all good threading, 30 passes together, but if you've got no one to make a run and make some space and put the ball in the back of the net, then there's not much point in it.
There is not much point in it. The referee was looking towards... I actually thought we were going to have a slightly premature drinks break, but now there seems to be a bit of an issue here. I don't know whether it's the numbers that are wrong, but certainly... Yeah, I'm not surprised that Pavel Sulc looked to the halfway line, because he actually saw his number 15. I think I've only just come on, but of course it's the number 15 for South Africa that is going to be going off, and it's Ikram Reyners. No surprise there at all. He's going to be going off, and he's going to be replaced. Just waiting for confirmation that it looks like it's Magopa that's come on to replace him. Provod as well is getting ready to come on here for Czechia, as indeed is Tomas Souček. So it looks like our goal scorer Michal Sadilek is going to be going off the field. So Sadilek is off and Chluzek is on. Chluzek has been replaced by Provod, and Sadilek has been replaced by Souček. A confirmation that Magopa is now on for South Africa.
Yeah, and I think we were just saying, weren't we, that South Africa needed to make some changes up top, and they've done just that, bringing Reyners off, who just never got into the game. Hopefully Magopa can thread something together, because so far they've been quite blunt up top, haven't they, the South Africans?
They really have. I say Lucas Provod coming on for Chluzek. That isn't a like for like. Provod can play forward, but he is more of a midfielder really, so this may well be Kubek just trying to give his side an extra body in midfield, just to make sure that there's no more surprises here from South Africa. But in the meantime, the Czechs have won themselves a throw in an attacking position. It's a long throw. It's headed down at the edge of the 6-yard box by Krejci. And in the end, it's hooked clear by Mbakazi up towards the halfway line. Yeah,
it was a little chance there, and they've got to stay alert to the South Africans, because they have weaved their way back into this game somewhat, still 1 goal down, but they've shown little glimpses here and there. But if they just, allow these slightly sloppy chances, then they might have to kiss goodbye to their place in this World Cup.
Yes, time's ticking down here for South Africa. We're only a few moments away now from the drinks break in the second half, or the hydration break, of course, to give it its official title. But the ball now back here with Tomas Souček, plays it into Schultz. And back towards the defensive line here. Hranac now in towards Schultz. Czechia perhaps just trying to get on the impetus here as the ball is played down the left-hand side, but it's a little bit ahead of Zeleny, and in the end he won't be able to do anything with it. And our referee, Tori Penso, she's now asking the players to go towards the halfway line, because we are at the hydration break now. South Africa, on paper, I say, in terms, if this is a boxing match, are they winning the last couple of rounds in this second half, would you say?
I think it's really tight. I think it's hard to say. I think either side could, if there is to be another goal in this game, which I have to say I'm not fully convinced that there's definitely going to be one, but if there is going to be one, I really couldn't pick between which side it's going to be. If I had to stick my neck on the line, I would probably say that it would be the Czechs, and the only reason I'm saying that is because they do have a little bit of threat. At the top end of the pitch, they have goal scorers, they have people that can take chances, and that's the thing that I don't believe the South Africans have.
No, absolutely not. And we're just getting a little bit of a break in play now. And referee just giving the players another minute or so here with the drinks break. But I think from South Africa's point of view, they would say that they've probably had enough of the possession now to feel as though they could do a bit more. We're just getting another replay of that great chance that Czechia had in the second half, when that ball was played in towards Derrida. That might have actually been one of the nails in his coffin for getting substituted.
Yeah, it was that poor touch, wasn't it? If he takes that in his stride, he's got a fantastic opportunity to get a shot away, and he's quite close in as well, so you have to imagine that he would be hitting the target. But as it panned out, he tries to bring it under control, but just allows the ball to spin in behind, and then he's on the back foot. He's having to twist and turn his body to try and get a shot away with the ball slightly behind him, and makes it quite a lot more difficult. So that was a good chance that went begging.
Chance that went begging, and going to see whether or not South Africa want to make any more changes. So they did make that change just before the drinks break and getting Matt Gopper on for Reiners. But regardless of who they got up front, if they don't get that ball to Evidence Gopper, just like they didn't get it to Reiners, he won't be able to make much of a difference.
No, and I wonder if that substitution will invite South Africa to actually put their corners into the box, to try and find some balls into the box, to try and be more of a threat in the air, or at least, because I can't really recall many instances at all where South Africa have actually put a ball into the box, whipped a cross in. They've tried to do it with build-up play, and maybe they felt that the way to play with Reiners up top was to try and to do just that, to have a more of a technical build-up. But now I wonder, with Matt Gopper, they've brought someone on who's maybe got a bit more physicality that hopefully for them can get between the defenders and be a bit more of a nuisance.
Absolutely, yes. As we're seeing the South Africa fans there, there's still plenty of them in good voice, and hopefully they can maintain that for the rest of this game, because their players are going to need it here. We're into the last 20 or so minutes in this game. And it is Czechia 1, South Africa 0, and it will be Jonny to take us through to full time.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's all about, can South Africa find a goal here? They've been trailing for much of this game. It was Sadilek's early goal that set the Czechs on the way, and they are about 20 minutes away from a very, very important 3 points. Both of these sides, of course, lost their opening games at this World Cup. South Africa faced hosts Mexico and lost 2-0, a couple of goals that were just gifted to their host opposition. And the Czechs were involved in quite an entertaining game with the South Koreans, which they ended up on the losing side there. They lost the game 2-1, but were well in it and seemed well up for it, which is why coming into this one they were possibly favourites for it, and so it has panned out so far. But can South Africa do anything to change that, and what do you think they need to do to change that?
Well, I think that They've had a few moments in this game where they've really been on top. The problem is that they can't maintain it. It's like a good passing move, a good opportunity to get the ball into the box, but it's not been a long-standing spell of possession. So I'm not going to expect South Africa to suddenly do that. I just want them to be able to use those little nuggets of possession they've got a little bit better, because for the time being, he has been a little bit too comfortable. I think the Czech midfield have had to work hard, but the Czech defence and goalkeeper, not really.
Not really. And can the South Africans find that chance? Can they carve open that opportunity? Will they be given that opportunity? Well, here they come on the left-hand side. They're trying to find something here with Maseko. He's trying to find a cross. He's got an overlap. He doesn't use it. Apollis running in, receives the ball in the box. Now he tries to play it through the legs of Souček, but the Czechs are able to scramble it clear, and once again, no one on the end of that cross for South Africa, and now forward the Czechs look to come, but I think Schulk is not going to quite get to that one, and it's played back to Williams in goal. But once again, South Africa getting into some good areas, no end product.
No end product. I mean, that was a bit better because at least they got that ball into the box a bit quicker, but just too many Czech bodies in the way for them to be able to do anything.
Yeah, absolutely. The South Africans on the ball once again with Ocon, and now forward they will come with a little bit of space as they look to drive forward here, the South Africans with Maseko, and now the ball's going to be pumped into the box, and it's the substitute who gets his head on it, Matt Gopper, and he was able to get a head on the ball, but it's fairly easy for Kovar. There was nothing really, it was a tame header, but I tell you what, that's probably a good sign for South Africa. A ball into the box and someone getting their head on it.
Well, that's exactly it. I think that's what they've got to try and do. They've had scant few opportunities like that in the second half, where it's just a decent ball in for somebody to attack it. Now they've probably given away a free kick here as well. Yes, they have. Just a little bit too keen to try and win the ball back there. Tomasz Souček, with his Premier League experience, just making sure he does get that foul in the middle of the park. But we'll see again, that header that was supposed to be towards goal, it actually now looks more like a header where he was just trying to stop the ball. He wasn't really attacking it at all.
Yeah, there's no pace absolutely at all on that header. Interesting one, seeing Tomasz Souček. Oh, what a touch that is by Schulk, but he is dispossessed and the South Africans can clear. But Tomasz Souček, of course, coming on quite late on into this game, not starting. I did watch the Czech Republic face South Korea, and towards the end of his time on the pitch, Souček, he was substituted. He looked a bit leggy, and I wonder if maybe that's the reason they didn't start him. But now he's involved. Would you have brought him on earlier? Would you have started him, do you think?
I think that there was an argument, I think, to bringing him on a little bit earlier. Oh, that's a clumsy challenge there, though, from Krejci. That's going to be the first Czech player in the book this evening.
Yeah, completely the correct decision. He'd looked like he'd been turned there with some quick feet, and he just went smashing into the tackle and brings his man to the ground. And this is going to be somewhat of a dangerous free kick for the South Africans, as we're going to see a replay here. It's Maseka who is brought to the ground. He turned Krejci, he got past him with a good bit of skill, and Krejci, I think he'd take the yellow card there because there was possibly some danger with them spinning him behind.
There was, and the free kick is still quite a long way away, so I suppose if this was right at the edge of the area, but it's probably about 5 or 6 yards too far away to be thinking about a shot, which is a worry for me when it comes to South Africa, as we know that they love the short corner, so let's see if they're going to take a short free kick as well.
We'll see. Apollis and Madiba standing over it. Will it be the in-swinger of Madiba or the outswinger of Apollis? We shall see. It's a two-man wall for the Czechs, but I don't think they're expecting a shot on goal here. It's going to be Madiba who plays it short. Surprise, surprise. And then a shot from range is charged down. Oh,
well, you asked me earlier what I'd do as South African coach. I would actually say that if anybody shoots from closer than the edge of the D, further away, than the edge of the D, then it's dropped for the next game, because they're shooting from so far out, having worked so hard to get that ball near the box. It is just so frustrating.
It's quite a baffling, clearly a tactic, clearly an instruction. I mean, this must be coming from the coaching staff, the fact that they are playing short.
Well, it looks like it, but then on the other hand, if they are playing it, what I find fascinating is that they are not allowed to take long goal kicks because they have to play out from the back, and yet when it comes to shooting long, that they're allowed to do it all the time. It just seems nonsensical for me that we've had 4 or 5 efforts on goal from centre backs and left backs from 30 plus yards. There's no logic to it at all.
Yeah, none of them have come anywhere near troubling Kovar in the Czechia goal. It's the South Africans on the ball now in their own half, and it is Madua on the right-hand side. He plays it to Maseko, and it goes back again to Mokoena. And now Ocon plays it to Umbakazi, and they're working it here in their own half, but no real sign of South Africa looking to probe forward. They might do that now. It's a chipped ball forward towards the target man, Gopa, but he's not going to win the 50-50, and in fact the ball goes out of play for a throw-in to the Czechs. Krejci doing well on his man. Magopa is more of a target man than Reyners was, and I think they're trying to bring him into play, as we're seeing another substitution here for the Czechs, as it is going to be the number 12, Cherv, who will come off.
Cherv is going off now, yes, so it's that's an interesting stat. That's all 3 of the starting midfielders here for Czechia don't end the game. I'm not sure that you see that very often, and he's been replaced by David Zima, who on paper is actually a defender. So this is Czechia very much shutting up shop at this stage.
Yeah, they've set their stall out, and it's a defensive stall. Can South Africa take advantage? As forward they come, and actually Souček's given away a free kick there. He's pulling back Mokoena, who had gone beyond him. He wants a yellow card. He's on a yellow card. He's saying, well, I was booked for something similar. Why are they not seeing the same thing? Hugo Bruss is saying exactly the same thing, and to be honest, I can see what they're complaining about.
Yeah, absolutely, I can. Hugo Bruss looking exasperated. That 4th official's almost having to console him like a counsellor there, because the South African manager looks very frustrated. I don't like the way that he
short again from the free kick.
Honestly.
Oh, and I tell you what, that was nearly an opening for Apollis, but he got the touch wrong. That's the first time the short free kick has worked, and he just let the ball run away from him. They picked him out.
They picked him out, but the problem is the consolation for that ball to Apollis is that, well, they were given it as a corner kick, then they've changed their mind. I think ultimately it has been given as a goal kick. I mean, I could say slightly tongue-in-cheek that South Africa have more chance of winning the ball from a Czechia goal kick than they have from their own corner, but that would probably be a little bit too harsh. But yeah, double kiss, yeah, absolutely, that should be a goal kick.
And it was indeed off Krejci there, who the captain bellowing instructions. Can his side get forward? Well, they're looking to do just that with Seleni on this left-hand side. He's turned infield slightly, but he's given the ball away to Magopa, who was on his toes while the Czech defence was on its heels, and now Magopa, the number 17 on the right hand side, nearly fumbles the ball, but he's able to play it back to Madua, and the number 20 cuts inside. Can South Africa find a way forward here? It's a good challenge by Krejci once again. He gets out to his man Mbatha, who will take this free kick, this throw-in. Sorry, no, he won't. He leaves it for Madau on the right-hand side. He throws it in to Mofokeng, and now it is with the number 4, Mokoena, as South Africa look to build forward, look to carve out. Just one chance is all they'll ask for, and then it's up to them to take it. Madau plays it back infield to Ocon, and now it's with Mokoena. Mokoena finds Apollos, who's dropped deep, and now it's back with Apollos from the left-hand side to Mokoena. They're passing it about. Can they find any incisive ball? They're not looking to go long. They're not looking to go into the box. They're looking to build it up. And so far, fairly well regimented, the Czechs, in just ushering the ball back from whence it came. Here is the number 21, Ocon, again, out to Madau. And yeah, once again, they're forced backwards, which is exactly where they go. Mokoena inside the centre circle. Now Apollos, once again having to drop deep, once again playing it backwards. It's been a good spell of passes, but there's been no incisive ball forward, as now Maseko looks to change that. He's running at his man, he's cut inside, will he shoot? He tries to bend it, there's appeals for handball, the penalty is being given! The referee has pointed straight to the spot, and out of absolutely nothing, there must have been a hand in there. Is it Schulk? He's the one that seems to be a bit nonplussed about the whole situation, and the high fives from the South African players, because they've got a golden opportunity to level now.
Golden opportunity here. The referee is pointing to the spot. I mean, Czechia are paying the price for just not being that little bit more ruthless when they had South Africa on the ropes. South Africa have struggled to create anything in front of goal all evening, and now they've got a golden opportunity. Is there going to be a VAR saviour? I mean, it's very close to Schultz. He's definitely in the box.
Oh, I'm not sure about that one.
I mean, his arm's down on his across his body. His arms. He's not trying to.
Oh, it's the other one though, isn't it? 'Cause he's got one arm across his body.
It is. Yeah. I mean, it's. You can see Hugo Bruce immediately appealing, and he'll be very pleased to see that Turi Penso gave the penalty. Lyle Foster, the Burnley forward, he's immediately getting up on his feet. He's one of the South African substitutes. He probably would have been looking to take the penalty if he was on the field. It's a shame for Schultz. He's been good since he's come off the bench. He's made an impact in that central midfield role. Now the question is, of course, who's going to be taking the penalty? It looks like it's going to be
Mokoena.
Mokoena, yeah.
Mokoena, the number 4 against Kovar. What a huge penalty this is. This quite possibly is the most important moment of his career. A penalty at the World Cup to salvage his nation's chances in what may well be a must-win game. Both of these sides lost their opening fixtures, and with two tough sides in the group, two other tough sides, this fixture is the one they might well have both looked at as the chance to get some points on the board. As down onto the spot, the ball goes for Mokoena. Kovar tries to make himself look as big as possible, and we wait for the referee's signal now. A few paces back for Mokoena. A big puff of the cheeks, a big exhale. This is the big moment for him as he steps up. Couple of steps, takes it, and he drills it into the bottom corner, sends Kovar the wrong way, and South Africa are level. It's a fantastic penalty, and they've taken that chance. Mokoena gets them level.
He does get them level. Look at the reaction of those South African players. The substitutes, the South Africans in the stadium will be absolutely delighted, as I'm sure South Africans all over the world will be as well. They were very flat, very much the sort of the also-rans, the sort of the supporting cast of the host nation having their win in the last game. This was a chance for them to show themselves a little bit more. They started off like a nightmare, but actually, I've got to say, Johnny, over the 83 minutes we've seen, although their finishing and their forward play hasn't been particularly good, I think their endeavour merits them to be level.
Yeah, it's a very good penalty as well by Mokoena.
Very good.
Not only sends the goalkeeper the wrong way, but it looks to be tight into that corner, the right-hand side, as Kovar looks at it.
I don't think he's saving that even if he guesses though.
I don't think he is, because it looks like it's in the side netting. It's a fantastic penalty, and we on our unofficial off-tube screen see the camera sent flying by that one. A vicious strike, a great penalty, and South Africa have found a way to get level as we moved into the final act. It's on a knife edge, and it could go either way now.
It could go either way, and Czechia, of course, have taken off midfielders and they're taken off forwards, brought on midfielders, they're taken off midfielders, brought on defenders. So now they're in a position where they almost, unless they could suddenly sort of flip what they're doing, they're pretty much just set on holding on to the result that they've got. Whether or not they can now try a little bit of something extra to go for the win, but whether or not South Africa want to go for it, here come Czechia now with Zeleny.
Yeah, Zeleny. Oh, he's misplaced his pass. He's looking for Provod, the number 17, but it's way too far in front of him. And now, well, we've spoken about elements of desperation for South Africa after going behind. Well, the Czechs may be getting a bit desperate. Maybe they're starting to feel the heat because the South Africans have got the goal and possibly the momentum now. And with 6 minutes or just under, getting towards 5 minutes to go of normal time, it seems to be the team in yellow and green that are on the front foot, as we've seen a substitution here. Celebelebe has come on for the South Africans. Maseko has come off. He's the one who won that penalty with the shot. And the number 25 enters the pitch. Can they find a way? The South Africans. The ball into the box towards Mogepa is not going to get there, but cleared away instead by the Czechs. And actually, for a second, looked like they might have a break on. But South Africa are able to bring the ball back under control with Mbokazi, who plays it to Akon. And now Madao on this right-hand side. He finds Magopa, the target man, and it will actually be taken away from him, and it's gone out for a Czech throw-in instead. So the Czechs have a chance to just take the sting out of it. Well, no, they're looking to come forward, in fact, with Provod driving forward. He's been dispossessed. He wants a free kick. He's not going to get one. The South Africans now look to try and clear. Souček battling for it. It's going to go out for a throw-in to the Czechs as Miroslav Kubek hurries his players on, applauds them. He wants to see more impetus, more urgency. And Hugo Broos looks on more stoically as the ball is nodded on by Schulk, but it's into the welcoming gloves of Williams, who falls on the ball and then decides he wants to inject a bit more urgency into this game, because I think South Africa possibly believe they can get a little bit more out of it now.
Well, I think it's whether or not they've got that drive to really push forward. I mean, it's all about risk, isn't it, at the end of the day? Do South Africa back themselves to get a result against South Korea? It's going to be difficult, so if they can get a win here, I mean, with the third place having a chance of qualifying, a win in the group is already giving you a big chance. But here come Czechia now down the right-hand side.
Well, that's a good tackle, though, and dispossessed on that left-hand side. Madiba getting the challenge in. Oh, it's a sloppy pass, though, and it's been given away to Zeleny, whose ball is poor. It's been nodded away, and tell you what, nearly the architects of their own demise there, South Africa, but they get away with it. Souček plays it back on to Zeleny, who's battling with it with Magopa, who is a really powerful figure, and he's able to hold the ball up, and it finds its way all the way back to Williams in goal, the number 1, and they can start again, South Africa, as it's played out to Madao, the number 20. He now goes infield towards Mbatha as they look to come forward, South Africa. Can they find one more chance? They've got level. Is there anything more in this one? As they try and look to the right, and now they will look to the left. Okon plays it out to Madiba, and he receives it back. They've slowed it down slightly. It's been a frantic last 5 or 10 minutes or so, and which team is going to be the one that's going to get the big opportunity to go ahead and win what would be a vital 3 points? It's fired into the box by Mokoena, who scored the penalty, and now a shot from range is saved and just about gathered in by Kovar. It looked like he might have spilled it for a second. It was Mofokeng who had the shot from distance, but it was fairly easily gathered.
Fairly easy. I mean, you're right to say fairly easy, because he spilt it, but it was always close enough that he knew no one was going to get the rebound. But he's not had the safest pair of hands this evening, Kovar, which is saying something, because he's not really been tested. I mean, obviously, he couldn't do anything about the penalty, but he's struggled to hold on to a couple of crosses and that shot we just saw there, as we're into the last 90 seconds of the regulation 90.
Yeah, as forward come the Czechs with Schulk on the right-hand side, and down off the ball. Schick is rolling around. He looks to be in some pain as it's gone behind for a corner to the Czechs, and now Schick is getting back to his feet. It was quite a dramatic fall to the ground. Didn't see what happened, but he seems all right.
See, yeah, I mean, we're going to see, first of all, they're showing us a replay of that spilt effort there It's not the greatest bit of goalkeeping there from the goalkeeper, Kovar. It has to be said, he sort of fell onto the ball, pushed it with his arms a little bit too far forward. We've not seen what happened to Patrick Schick at all, and now it's a Czechia corner anyway.
Yeah, they have got a corner and an opportunity as Schick is complaining to the referee, and we haven't seen what happened to him, but he certainly seems to think that something... And has he talked himself into a bit of trouble here? Because the referee is beckoning him back. Did he say something as he walked away? He's not happy at all. But
he's being cocky there, Sheik. He actually told the referee to leave it. Come on, let's just play. I think if he complains another time in this game, he's probably going to get a yellow, because that was very close to being a yellow card for December. Here comes the corner.
Yeah, the corner is whipped in by the Czechs, and it's in towards Souček, but he's not able to get a head on it, and it's cleared away by South Africa, and now they'll look to come forward, but it's a little bit of a scuffed clearance by Madiba, and now the Czechs can, with Sofal, try and find a way into the box, perhaps. It's on this right-hand side. They do find a way into the box. It's dangerous. It was in towards Krejci, who we know is good in the air, but it's headed away, and now the Czechs would look to rebuild. Souček plays it out to the left-hand side with Zeleny. He's brought down, is he? Yeah, the free kick's given. He'll be happy and relieved because it looked like he just lost control of the ball there, but this is now a free kick on the left-hand side. It's a dangerous area.
It is a dangerous area. It's the first time in a while that we've seen Czechia actually getting forward. They probably regret they couldn't have this sort of impetus when it was 1-0, because they could have got a second goal and really closed the game out. But any second now, we're going to see our fourth official confirming the added time. 7 minutes seems about right. We've had a goal, a penalty, a couple of substitutions, and of course a hydration break. So 6.5 minutes to go now for either side to get a winner.
Sofal will take this free kick from the left-hand side. It's going to be surely curled into the box. It's Sofal with the free kick. It's somewhat dangerous. It's flicked on by Zeleny, but no one's there to gather it out onto the right-hand side now, and the flag goes up against possibly Souček. He was the one chasing it on the right-hand side, and South Africa survived that one. Hands on hips for Miroslav Kubek. He's not happy. Sigh of relief for Hugo Bruce as he taps his head.
He's telling them to think, isn't he? He's telling his players to think. Oh, nobody's offside there, for my money, when that ball is played.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that one.
Yeah, that's a bit of a question mark, that last offside. There wasn't anybody offside when that initial ball was played in, and then when the second ball was played in, I didn't think there's anyone off either. So it might be that they're just gone a little bit prematurely with the flag, but a free kick to South Africa just inside their own box.
Well, they've gone long this time. Williams fires it out to that left-hand side. Since Magoppa's come on, they seem more willing to go long, don't they? And I think they're probably trying to play to his strengths as the throw-in is taken by Apollis, the number 7. And now it's going to be worked backwards, the number 5 for South Africa. Mbatha plays it back towards Mokoena, and it's Mokoena again, hooks it out to Madao, the number 20 on the right-hand side. And now it's, Mbatha, it's a bit of a miscommunication there from the South African midfield, and they've lost it here, and it's Schulk who can come forward with the ball. He's found Schick, and now it's back onto the right-hand side with Provod. Played in field to Souček, and he's tried to find the pass towards Schulk. It's going to be deflected and behind for a corner. I think it is a corner. No, I think has the referee given a goal kick there? Well, I
think she has after all of that. Yeah, there was a little bit of a question mark as that ball was being chased, but we'll just see that we have had a couple of close.
I think it's the right decision.
I think as well. Yeah, we saw a couple of corner kick decisions were a little bit close, but now the South Africans. I must say I'm impressed with how South Africa have grown into this game. But maybe they've been allowed to. Maybe Czechia are guilty of just thinking that the South Africa that played in the opening game and the South Africa that played in the first 15 minutes of this game and conceded, well, that's not the whole story, and I think Czechia are paying the price now.
I think they are indeed, and it seems like they've woken up a little bit since that equaliser went in, but in fact it's South Africa who are coming forward. You have to feel that any goal now wins it, and what a huge goal it will be. The difference between 1 point and 3 today is absolutely huge as the ball deflects kindly for the Czechs, and it's Schulk who can bring the ball forward. He's going to look for Schick, but no, he goes on again. He receives the ball back, and now he's got plenty of space to run into. Schulk, can he find a cross? He's going to go outside. He does find a cross, but it's cleared away before Schick can get the shot away. It's going to come to Provod, who shoots, and he fires the ball, slices it wide, and that was an opportunity for the Czechs, but it's not taken.
Not taken. I just wonder if that ball to Schick could have been played a little bit quicker. We'll see from the replay here as Schultz looks up, takes a touch, Well, maybe that's as quick as he could have done it. I mean, in fairness, Sheik always had 2 defenders on him as well. And then Provo, that's a rush of blood. There's no necessity for him. He almost fell for the problem that South Africa have found, where they just want to shoot from distance. He didn't need to do that. There were players that were in a better position. He could have taken a touch and looked for a pass there as well.
It was really good defending, in fact, from Umbokazi, who got there in front of Schick as the ball is flashed across. He's able to divert it away. Here's Schulk again. Since he's come on, he's been able to tie things together quite well for the Czechs. He seems to be the man creating as they look to work it on this right-hand side now. So Czech wants the ball. Is he going to get it? No. In fact, they've gone out wide to Krejci, but his touch is poor and he flies into a tackle. He's going to get away with it in terms of a free kick, but the South Africans have got the ball. Will they go long? Here is Apollis dropping deep, clips a lovely ball out wide to the number 25, Sebaleveli, who is going to run at his man. Can he find a cross? Oh, it's deflected. It finds its way back to him, though. He's going to look backwards. And here is Mudau, who plays it to the number 5, Mbatha. Now Mokoena. Can they find one last chance? Apollis. He goes backwards to Mokoena. Now out to the left-hand side with Mofokeng. He's going to be forced backwards, and in fact it does indeed go backwards. We've played 5 minutes of the extra 7. 2 minutes for either of these sides to find a crucial winner. Mudau on the right-hand side fires a ball in towards Magopa, who chests it and turns well. Can he get away? Can he find a shot? It's a tame effort. He does really well to bring the ball down and spin away and create the opening. There was a half chance, but his shot is poor. It's straight at the goalkeeper.
He needed to have a little bit more of a run-up so he could get some whip onto that ball, or potentially look for the pass to Apollis. But there we go, with 90 seconds to go. South Africa with a great chance in the box.
Yeah, and they're coming forward once again. Can they create one more? As the ball is slipped through towards Apollis, it's well dealt with by Sofal, who comes away with the ball and now looks to set his team off. Schick with the flick, but he's dispossessed. Mudau comes away with it, and now they look for one last opportunity. Mofokeng plays it back to Mudau. Can he find a cross? Can he find a shot? It's in towards Magopa. He goes backwards to Mofokeng. He's trying to twist, trying to turn the number 10. They look dangerous here as South Africa. Can the shot be got away? It's a good challenge by Krejci. It deflects goalwards, and it's going to go behind. It's going to be a corner. It was Madiba with the shot. It was blocked. And now surely, with only 1 minute to go and only one opportunity left, this ball has to go into the box.
He shinned it. He's a left footer. He's hit it with his right foot into his left foot, and then it's deflected off the Czechia. It's another short corner.
They've gone short again. I can't believe it. That was a chance. One last chance to get the ball into the box. Will they take that now? Yes. It's crossed in. It's way over hit. Could that be their last opportunity? Could their place in this World Cup be slipping away? They've got one more game to go, but it will be a tough one. South Africa still on the ball. They've got one last opportunity now, surely, to get the ball into the box with Mbokazi. Why is he shooting from that far out once again? And now the Czechs can chase the ball. It's brought down by Mokoena. He goes backwards, and now with 15 seconds to go, this has to go forward, surely. Williams, he is going to go long. I don't know why they're shooting from so far out. Can they carve one last chance? Underneath it is the Czech player, and that is surely the end of the game. Yes, it is, and it's finished 1-1. An early goal from Sadalek, eventually cancelled out from the penalty spot by Mokoena. They needed a win. They've both got a draw, 1 point each, 1-1.